Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salamu ala sayyidil anbiya'i wal mursaleen. Wa ba'd. Preparation is something you'll find throughout the board. Take, for instance, sports. Whether it's cricket, whether it's soccer, basketball, or football, no game just starts when the time is scheduled. If somebody is scheduled to play at 8 o'clock, nobody just comes and shows up and plays. What happens is, half an hour before, everyone shows up, people do their stretches, they do some practice runs, they get into the mindset, and then after warming up for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, then they get into the game. Whatever somebody plans on doing, they never just jump right into it. They prepare minutes before, an hour before, mentally, physically, just so that they can put their entire potential into that game. Ramadan is more important than any game we play in our lives. And the unfortunate reality is, for many of us, Ramadan is something that just comes upon us without notice. In my mind, I know vaguely that, okay, you know what, Ramadan is sometime in, April, I'm not sure when, sometime in the beginning, maybe it's in the middle, is it in the ending of March? I'm not entirely sure, but I know it's somewhere over there. But in any other field of our life, from work to sport to recreation, we can't work with a vague timeline. Imagine you start a job and your boss tells you, you'll get a vacation. I'm not going to tell you when it is, but maybe it's sometime in October, sometime in November. We'll figure it out when it comes. On the day, I'll let you know. A person will be upset, saying, no, give me a time so I can prepare before. I want to go for Umrah, I want to go visit family. I need a buffer time so that I can mentally and physically prepare for my vacation. If this holds true for everything in our lives, to a greater extent, it holds true for Ramadan. And by now it sounds cliche, prepare for Ramadan, but it's something we need to really practice in our lives. That next week Ramadan is coming. So it's not a question about months or weeks, it's a question about days. And if my only preparation for Ramadan is I know vaguely sometime in April it's starting, then I'm way behind in this race. What does it mean to prepare for Ramadan? There are a few things. I'm just going to list these 4 things very quickly and then we'll talk about them in more detail in the upcoming days. The first thing is just to be aware that Ramadan is coming and have intention for it. Be prepared for it. Know that it's happening. Because when you're ready mentally in terms of your intention, then you can prepare from day one that, okay, I have, Ya Allah, intention for this Ramadan that I will reap benefits. If I don't know when the month is happening, I don't know what's going to happen, then I'm not really going to benefit. A second thing is scheduling. Scheduling my work, scheduling my day, scheduling my free time. There's a lot. There's i'tikaf, there's taraweeh, there's tahajjud, there's fasting, there's iftar. There's so many considerations, scheduling. Number 3 is the Quran. How will Quran play into my Ramadan? How will I be reciting more? How can I complete one entire reading of it? And number 4 is community involvement. And I don't want to get into much details for all of these right now. I'm just going to talk about the first one very quickly. Intention is so important. And intention doesn't mean, oh, they're sighting the moon. Is it today? Is it tomorrow? Okay, now I'm going to make my intention. The Salaf, one of the ulama of the past, he would say, the community, the Muslim community, they would like to prepare for Ramadan a few months beforehand. A few months beforehand because it's like a big occasion. In our lives, when a wedding happens, what do? We start sending out invitations well in advance. The wedding's happening in December. So I'm sending out these cards right now, RSVP, who's coming, who's not, so I can be ready for it. When it comes to Ramadan, the Salaf, the ulama, they used to say, they would prepare 6 months in advance, making dua, getting physically ready. For instance, some of us, we know that Sha'ban is a really important month to fast. Instead of day 1, jumping right into the fast of Ramadan, I can fast a few days in Sha'ban, so that I'm easily transitioning into it. There are many things we can talk about. But the first thing is intentionality and going in with a purpose. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us mentally, spiritually, and physically ready for the month of Ramadan. May He allow us to witness it with afiyah and khair, and may He bring it to us as a gift and allow us to benefit from it. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Jazakumullah khairan.